Wood said to me, and I think they were dead right. The question everything the mainstream media does, and the question everything the government does, because you always need to form your own opinion. You can't be fed information. Because at the end of the day, that's what democracy is all about. Because there always will be people that disagree with you. There always will be people that you might have a small flaw. Let's say, for example, um, the carbon tax, you want to put it at 3%, and somebody wants to put it at 5%. That's a small disagreement. Something like that. But just as an example, there's always going to be small disagreements in democracy, and that's what democracy is all about talking, trying to convince the people on which is the best point, and which is the best point, and which is the best way to lead, and trying to convince people, and people can think for themselves. Did they think that's right? Did they think it's wrong? And that's what democracy is all about. And the mainstream media now in Ireland, the thing I don't like about it is that they don't really give you a chance. RT won't let you challenge the narrative, if that makes any sense. If OT says this, it's God's given right, that OT is totally right and OT cannot be challenged. More or less, that's what OT's opinion is on the subject. We have a different opinion. Because people are entitled to their say. As I said, question everything the government, the mainstream media does. Because, at the end of the day, it's always two sides to a story, but question it. Question it and think for yourself. Because some things are easy enough to see that, they are true. Like some things they do talk about in the media, and some things are truthful enough, and you can understand it straight by looking at it, it's truthful enough. But you always have to think of your own opinion. You read information, you say to yourself, what do I agree with this, or do I think something else is happening here? Because, it's all about the independence of the mind and independence of thought. Because now that's gone in the modern democracies in the world. That, you've been fed information. And it's the same with social media and things like that. You've been fed information. You have no really time to think. Like I always think, about the information I'm thinking about in my head. I'm always thinking about it. I'm always constantly anytime OT posts up on the Irish Independent, no matter who it is, I'm always thinking in my head, is there another side to this? Is there another angle of this I could look at it from? And I always think, I might not say it, but I always am thinking in my head, even as I'm speaking here now, I'm thinking of a few stories, and I'm thinking about it in my head, and I'm trying to think, are they right in saying that? Are they right in doing this? Because again, OT is, the majority of the time, are wrong about things, as we know. OT talk a lot of shit, let's put it that way. But, question everything. That's what I say to people, question everything. Because again, people are entitled to question, people are entitled to think for themselves, think independently. Because again, as somebody said to me once, if you don't use your mind, and this is referring to maths and school and things like that, your mind will what? And it's true, if you don't use your mind to think about things, because in today's world, we don't think much about things. We don't think, we can get a calculator, for example, we can get a calculator on phone, not add the sums up in our head and use our brain. And that kind of reduces, I can't think of it off by heart, but it reduces the activity of the brain. And again, I sound like a scientist. I'll be the new Dolores Cow soon. Dolores Cow's a great person, just to say, she's talking really much sense. She's talking a lot of sense. And just to say, the Irish Freedom Party actually have, and I fed the Dublin. I can't think, don't quote me on it because I can't remember the day. I have this on the top of my head, but I can't remember it. Because I'm trying to remember everything at once. So, yeah, forgive me for that. But yeah, Dolores Cow, amazing person. Look her up if you don't know who she is. Amazing person. No, I'm completely, like, see, I talk good for a while and then I completely lose myself because I say something. And I completely forget then what I'm talking about. Anyway, I think that's enough because I end up rambling for an hour, so